Welcome, and welcome if you follow me or if you're new to my channel. And well, it's only been, I'd say, 9 days I think since I last posted. I posted some videos like on my travels. I've been away to Las Vegas, and you know, the minute my partner told us we was going to Las Vegas a few months ago now, I thought, right, what's coming up for me there then? Because as a light worker, a twin flame, grid worker, lots of different gifts, you know. I have more than just one spiritual gift. As an ancient soul, I'm part of the 144. I have many multi-dimensional parts of me, so many gifts and many remembrances of past lives, many aspects. So shaman. So this picture here, this was one of the first ever drawings that another light worker channeled of me, and I just remember meeting her that day. She's now become a very good friend of mine. I always knew she would. You know, your soul tribe knows the soul tribe. I knew one day we'd become, good friends. But this was the very first picture she channeled of me when I was still a little bit lost, finding myself, and these fragments was returning to me. I knew I was shaman, I knew I was medicine woman, knew all that, but she didn't. But this is the picture that she drew of me. There was no way she could have known that, you know. I knew how she knew that because I was knowing things that I shouldn't have known. Still questioning at that point, you know, what was going on with me. I was still trying to find my true identity, the one, you know, my soul identity, not the Ellie identity prior to waking up. But yeah, she was. This is all the light around you. And just before meeting her, I'd seen light codes, my first ever light codes coming through during meditation with one of my crystals. And you know, it's something when you see it, it ignites something inside of you. It's that remembrance. It's a DNA activation also. More things started coming online for me. Like I could actually feel the DNA strands, you know, inside my body. The energy, I was feeling energy very powerfully, but even more so today. This was years ago. But yeah, just prior to meeting this lady, who's also on TikTok, and she's called Divine Energy Art, Chrissy. Her name is. Amazing channel for source. Very gifted. Just prior to meeting her, I knew I was going to meet her. As strange as that sounds, but that's the precognition. That's the gifts, you know, that returned to me through years and years of healing. And when I say years, I mean years. It's not like months, days. It's not. Healing, it's a lifelong journey, you know. But the more you dare to go and to find these fragments of yourself and to keep pushing what you believe, you know. I believed once I got to a certain point, I thought, right, this has got to be it. I can't have any more gifts coming through. You know, I like language. Reiki, the channel for, you know, source. This has to be it. No, we're limitless. Every one of us are limitless. We are very powerful beings. We are human and we are divine. So, yeah, now, I don't question how far I will go on this path, because I know it's never ending. And I know we are limitless. We always have been. We just had to return that back to ourselves through the healing. You know, for my 20 years of healing, 7 years awakening up to my twin flame connection, but I know now, yeah, from childhood, yeah, possibly from birth, I was, you know, my path was this path. But yeah, she drew this. This is a picture of one of the aspects of myself, my higher self. She also mentioned Peruvian, and I started to, you know, to link back to my Lemuria also. So the jigsaw started to fall into place a little bit after I met this lady, and she's also told me, you know, we activate each other. You know, we just had a recent meeting, just before me going to Las Vegas, which I also knew was no coincidence, because every time, you know, we come into each other's vicinity, it's like we activate something inside each other. And she also mentioned Lemuria, and instantly I said, that's where we know, that is where we know each other from, you know. So the jigsaws are starting to make the jigsaw pieces are starting to slot in to place now. And after the meeting before I went to Las Vegas, she drew me this. We arranged to meet up with each other, you know, for coffee, to meet up and to talk about our path and to be each other's support, you know, because on this path, it's a very, very lonely path. And yeah, I'm on a twin flame journey, like many who are, but I'm also on my spiritual awakening. I'm also 144. I'm also Lemurian. Also, you know, you've got all them different fragments of yourself coming back to you. I also know I'm from the angelic realm. My angels have told me, hence why I love all things angels, you know. Also the dragon aspect fragments have started to return to me. And it wasn't by coincidence that Chrissy ticked up with this picture of dragon. And this dragon, she said, does not have dragon scales, it has feathers. So the merging of the angelic and the dragons is what we got from this. Also, I have been working with my intuition, the third eye. So this symbol here from the third eye, that made sense to me. Also the colour purple, intuition, crown chakra, open to spirit, third eye. You know, these drawings that Chrissy draws, very, very energetically powerful. You know, and I know anyhow, I will never ever doubt myself again. Been on this path too long now. I knew that this meeting, you know, getting together was something to activate in each other again. Help each other on our soul path, you know, because you need help. And that's what light workers, twin flames, well, that's what we're here for. We're here to guide others in this new golden age. You know, you look around the world, what's going on? There's chaos. Let's face it, it's chaos. Now, people might say, well, how are we going to get out of this chaos? We are. First there's chaos, then there's calm. You know, so for things to come out into the light, you know, to activate our intuition inside of us, you know, our truth, first things have to crumble. You know, the darker parts of this world has to crumble for the light to merge. Yes, you need that balance, you know, we all need that balance of shadow and light, but we haven't really got that balance, have we? No. There's people that are higher up who have more power. Now, that light breaking through, that's going to balance it all out. You know, it's gone on for far too long So we're in need of balance, you know, equality. Yeah, we're in need of all of that. And my dragon, you know, my dragon has been coming through for quite a while now, and especially in my Reiki sessions. Dragon light language, yeah, pops up quite a lot. And also the ascension symptoms for me lately has been like an inferno inside of my body. Now, I don't know if anybody else out there is experiencing this, but I also know that it's energy, you know, so I understand we're going through a big like timeline shift, you know. So yeah, I understand that. Whereas years ago I would have just thought, what's going on, you know, I'm ill, go see the doctor. Not saying that nobody shouldn't go see the doctor, of course you should. Any symptoms that you are not sure of, you should go see a doctor. Me personally, on my path, I know what's meant for the doctor, and I know what's meant for you know, to align, that aligns with my spiritual path. But yeah, this picture, how beautiful is it? Feathers, a dragon with feathers, the angelic realm and the dragon merging together. Very powerful, you know, dragons, very, very powerful. They've always been made out to be not so nice, have they? You know, in history, they've been made out to be, yeah, you know, the attack and all of that. No, not so. Very, very powerful, beautiful beings like the angelics. Very, very powerful, but do they hold too much power that, you know, needs to be silenced? Again, my trip around Las Vegas, especially to Philadelphia, woke that up in my intuition that I was there. I knew that I was being detoured. My trip took a turn, and I shall speak about that more. But I knew I was being deterred to a certain place when we missed our flight. Well, we didn't miss the flight, it didn't show up on the board. Quite strange, you know. But I knew there was reasons why, you know. After I got over the, oh, are you kidding me? We've got to wait how many hours? And you know, all that human side of me. Then I started to use my intuition, and my guards and my angels was coming in, saying rejection is protection, Ellie. Don't ever forget that. You know, my intuition started to come online. Even though I was battling with that human side, and I just wanted to get home after 7 days in Las Vegas, that intuition was on. You know, I was like, right, okay, let's think about it here. Why would I be detoured to stay in Philadelphia of all places, which was connecting on to our flight to Dublin, but we got derailed to stay in Philadelphia. So, you know, yeah, my intuition came in, and I was like, right, okay, angels, what are you trying to tell me? Okay. And just as we left the airport after many hours of trying to get some answers and sort this out, and why that it didn't show up on the board and all of that, we decided, yeah, we was meant to be there for a reason. We all decided that, you know. Even my youngest son was like, well, we're here for a reason, Mum, especially on your path. Nothing goes smooth sailing. Yeah, that's an understatement. Nothing on the twin flame journey goes smooth sailing. I know when I get stuck in places, I get sent to places, there's reasons why. There's knowledge there, you know, that I'm meant to pick up, and I'm meant to bring back, and I'm meant to speak about it to who I help on my journey. So yeah, my intuition kicked in. So did my son's, you know, and he's a very wise soul himself. He's only 20s, but yeah, he's wise beyond his age. So yeah, we're driving to the hotel after we decide you know, we've had enough in that airport. We're not going to stay the night in the airport. So we'll drive to this hotel. We book an hotel, and we decide we're going to sort the flight out next day. You know, we're all tired at that point and want rest. Yeah, again, like the twin flame journey, you get so tired, there's a time where you just got to surrender, you know. So yeah, surrender stage came in again. So I was like, right, okay, we're meant to be here, let's make the most of it. So just driving into the hotel in Philadelphia, we well, I see it from the corner of my eye. Big sign, neon sign, like the side of a building. It was huge. 444 neon sign. But before I had a chance to say, told you, you know, I know I'm here for a reason. My angels are sending me signs left, right, and centre. My son nudged me, and he was like, "Mum," and I was like, "Yeah, I see it, son." And I laugh about it now, but yeah, it's usually only me that sees these numbers. But you know, my son lives with me, and I know that I awaken people also, so I know he's awake. I'm years down the line. I was meant to go before all of my family, all of my friends. I'm the awakener of my soul, family. You know, I'm the awakener of my what's the word? My family lineage. You know, I'm the change maker. I'm the trailblazer. Yeah, I'm all of that. Many, much more things as well. That's not from an ego thing, because yeah, this path, you know, you balance your ego out. There's no ego, you know, from your, yeah, it's balance. You know, it's complete in balance once you walk to this path. But yeah, so big first sign. So that was like, you know, the second sound that came through. First one was my angels coming through, saying protection is rejection is protection. So I knew, you know, there was protecting me as they always do. And then second was 444. And then we got to the hotel and we started to chill and, you know, to relax a bit, and yeah, started to sort of let the day decompress, fall away, freshened up, you know, all of that. And then I received a message from my eldest son, who was travelling to the UK on his flight. And again, my intuition kicked in. Why my son had messaged me, it was not on a very good flight, and there was a lot of turbulence, and the tellies and everything went down, and it was just bouncing around like no business, he said. And I didn't even need to hear those words from my son. The minute a text came through, yeah, my intuition. And I said, okay, son, you'll be fine. Don't worry, you'll be fine. I said, I'll call in all my angels and my guards, and I'll call in for protection, and, you know, I'll do what I always do for my family and friends. You know, because I'm not on this path for myself. I'm not on it. Yes, the healing, but yeah, it's not about self. You know, you don't go through all that I've gone through on this path just to keep it to yourself and to use that magic that you find inside yourself just for yourself, you know, for your own gains. No, it's so much bigger than that. So, you know, whenever I send out prayers and I send out healing, it's for others. It's this path. That's my path I chose before I came here, to help others in this new golden age. So I knew my son's message was one of, it was scared, you know. We all get scared sometimes, don't we? Although we don't like to admit it. It was scared. I know my son also, you know, I didn't need that psychic medium in me to tell me my son was scared. That's that mother's intuition. That's the intuition we're all born with, you know. That gut. So yeah, I called in all my angels, all my guards, and he got home safe, you know. And yeah, finally went over to sleep, you know, because I knew he'd be safe. That trust and that faith in my spirit guides and my path and the person I am on my path. Yeah, I knew they'd be safe. I knew they'd be protected. I could see them being protected. I could see those angel wings lifting that plane up, you know, all of that. Yeah. I know I am on this path as well. I'm very, very powerful. That's not from an ego, but I'm a very ancient soul. When Chrissy showed me this, you know, this aspect of myself, she told me that, yeah, not only had angel feathers instead of the usual dragon scales, it was feathers. Instantly I knew that was the angelic merging with my dragon. Dragon's very, very powerful. And she also said it's very ancient, powerful dragon. And I was like, yeah. I know the aspects of myself, you know, the retaining day by day. I do the healing still healing. I'll heal for the rest of my life. It's a lifelong journey, but I choose that. I choose to keep pushing on this journey, no matter how hard it gets. I choose to keep pushing through those obstacles. Why? Because I know it's so much bigger than me, and my soul knows it. You know, that ancient soul in me knows I'm here for this purpose. So yeah, Philadelphia, it ended up taking us to the next day. So we're all freshened up. So we make the most of it, and we go to see the Rocky Balboa statue. Now, we've all seen that film, haven't we? I don't think there's not one of us that have not watched Rocky. It's a story of pushing through, you know, obstacles, pushing through our society norms, you know, that have been put on us, pushing those boundaries, you know, to being, limitless. You know, so that, it took us to the statue. And things started to connect more, you know, the jigsaws with the pieces. I was like, right, okay, yeah. The story of Rocky and how he rose through, you know, his circumstances, how he kept fighting no matter what. There was sounds coming in left, right and centre for me at that point. But I knew that anyhow, you know, because when you know your path, you know your path. And I know the struggles I've faced, and I know what I've been up against, and I know what I'm still up against. But I also know that it's my calling, it's my sole purpose, it's why I'm here. So no matter what society or obstacles get put in my way, and I'm always going to keep pushing through. I'm going to keep fighting, you know. I'm going to keep fighting my own shadows, and also, you know, what people project onto us. Yeah, that's this path. So I thought, right, here we go. Yeah. It's all making sense now. Why the birds here. But I was getting the downloads, but I just wasn't using my intuition as much as I should have been, you know, at that point. Sometimes that human self takes over me, and I have to bring myself back to knowing how far I've come, what obstacles I've pushed through. Those struggles, you know. I had to go back and think, come on, like, Ellie, seriously, you know this path. Stop questioning. Don't question it. Don't question your intuition. You know why spirit sends you to places. You know, you know what you've come up against. You know the shadows that you've healed inside yourself. You know, to bring that light out. So yeah, we do all the stuff at the Rocky Balboa statue, you know, and I'm starting to know at that point. Right, here we go. Yeah. But before we went to the Rocky Balboa statue, we also went to the Liberty Bell, and that's going to be another reading on its own. You know, and the Liberty Bell was, it's about equality, freedom, abolishing slavery. You know, women's right to vote. yeah, so I was like, right, yeah, this is why I'm here. This is why we've been detoured. So there's always a divine plan, you know, that's orchestrated. And yeah, sometimes in our human, you know, life and ego, we think, oh, are you kidding me? What else can go wrong? You know, like I'm on holiday, and I mean, every holiday I go on, I expect something, something. If I've not had the download prior to going, which sometimes happens that way, I know why I'm going to a certain place. But yeah, sometimes it takes a little bit longer for my intuition to kick in. But yeah, that's my path. That's why I'm here. But just because, you know, that I'm this ancient soul with these powerful gifts that have returned back to me, I still have to keep coming back, you know, to my intuition, using my intuition. Also, on my trip, my sons put together and brought me this beautiful Amethyst Heart crystal. Now, I've got amethyst. I have amethyst all around my house. You know, it's the stone of connection to source, intuition, third eye, crown chakra. Yeah, it's all of that. But I haven't got a crystal in the shape of a heart amethyst. I've got like a big cluster, you may have seen if you follow me. So this, yeah, I was looking at it, and it was the first one that stood out to me, and it was in Hooverdam, where we visited. Yeah, it's this place called Hooverdam, and we went into the shop there, and yeah, any crystals that are meant to be found, I've found. You know, they found you. This was, yeah, I've meditated with this since being home, and I've had visions in my third eye coming through. Very, very powerful. I was meant to find it. Like all my crystals, meant to find them on my travels. They found you. But yeah, this was the first one that popped out to me, and my son came up to me and said, it's Mother's Day soon, Mum. Pick one, and me and Luke, my younger son, we'll put two and get you one. So I said, why don't you choose me one? Yeah, you chose me one. And this was the one that I chose, but they didn't know I chose it. And then when I unwrapped it, I was like, that was the one I chose. There you go. Intuition, you know, my boys was using their intuition. Yeah, my intuition told me this needed to come home with me. It did. Yeah, I will be working with this stone a lot more. Beautiful. Also the heart shape. Because I've got rose quartz in a heart shape, in a tiny stone, but not amethyst. So there's reasons why, you know, and I paired this with an intuition meditation, because my intuition was telling me to do that. But there's reasons for the heart, you know. It's a very powerful connection with the heart and the amethyst. That will be another reading. That will also be Reiki and light language healing coming through. I had the downloads. It'll take a few days because I'm still you know, that jet lag. Yeah, so I'm going to wait until my jet lag subsides a little bit. The downloads are already coming through. I'm already back to automatic writing after a week of, you know, no automatic writing. They didn't want me. I know my spirit takes me away from certain things also. They want me in that moment. I know then, you know, the downloads will flow. That's how it works. And the minute I got back home, downloads was flooding in. But I also knew, my intuition told me there would be. There was reasons why I was detoured on this trip to Las Vegas. I wasn't there for the rugby, you know. I knew that. I asked Spirit, I asked my angels, okay, why are we going to Las Vegas? I know my boys and my partner are going for the rugby, but I know my path. And I get sent to places on the earth for certain reasons. Yeah, it's different for me, you know. My intuition tells me it's different. Been on this path long enough now to know that. But how beautiful is this? I'll just do a little bit of crystal healing while I'm on live for you. Just take this healing in and say, I accept or I claim. I open up to my intuition. Yeah, very interesting trip, journey, path. What, you know, nothing shocks me. Nothing shocks me now. Being on this journey a long time. When you're on the twin flame journey, it's one of the hardest spiritual awakening paths, I've been told. But I don't need to be told, because firstly, I live it. You know, I live it daily. So yeah, 8 years we're going into my journey now. So yeah, I don't need to be told what it's about. And also, Hoover Dam, just as I was walking out of choosing this crystal, my boys chose this crystal, so I left the shop for them to, I was about to leave the shop for them to use their intuition, choose me that crystal. This caught my eye. Now, instantly knew it was handmade beautifully. You know, about this is the dam that we went to see. But on the back of it, it says, so it says, each raku art piece is pulled red hot from a kiln and left to smoulder in wood shavings. Not all survive the trial by fire. The ones that do cultivate strength and beauty. Made by hand with love. Now, those words, instantly when I was just drawn to it, you know, my angels drew me to it, my spirit team. And the minute I read it, I was like, yeah, I need to take one of these home with me. This needs to go into my, you know, my work room, my reading room. Yeah, because you know, when you go through the fire and the twin flame journey and the awakening path, yeah, you can liken it to fire. You're walking through fire. You're walking through it to rise, you know. But the words just rang true for me. Not all survive the trial by fire. The ones that do cultivate strength and beauty. Yeah, once you come through this trial by fire, dark night of the soul, Kundalini rising, whatever your spiritual path is, whatever you experience on this earthly realm, once you come through that, yeah, wow, do you have strength and do you have beauty and you have all of that, you know, because when you work through the fire, you've been forged. You know, you only talk about that diamond being forged. It goes through extreme pressure and heat. You do. You walk through the fire and you rise like the phoenix, you know, rising from the flames. So yeah, this caught my, well, didn't catch my eye. Yeah, my angels made it catch my eye. Also, again, just before we'd been to see the Rocky Balboa statue, just before, yeah, I was in the toilets in the visiting centre and a feather just appeared out of nowhere. Yeah, I don't usually go looking down. I don't look for feathers, you know. I do know feathers are spiritual messengers, signs, you know, from the angelic realm. I've had that many times on this path. Yeah, I've had messages from spirit. Lots of messages from spirit on your path. And I'm aware, you know. Hummingbirds also. So hummingbirds in the actual hotel we were staying in. 2 hummingbirds together. Yeah, spiritual messengers, you know. It was all around. Yeah, the feather. I've brought the feather back with me because, yeah, the angels basically said, look down, Ellie. So I looked down and lo and behold, there was a feather in my toilet. Not in the toilet, but toilet floor. So yeah, lots and lots of signs, lots of things I've brought back with me from this trip of mine. Yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about why, you know, our spiritual journey gets detoured. You get the saying, yeah. It's to lead us to places and signs, spirits aligning us, you know, on our path. Also 111, you may have seen that on one of my videos on the Route 66. Came across the 111 sign. Now 111 has been following me around for years. Also angel number, you know, signs and synchronicities everywhere. Just got to use your intuition and be open to it. You know, that's where your third eye comes in. When you start opening up that third eye, your intuition, start recognising the signs more and more. Yeah, you don't question it, you know. You get past that questioning point. But I'm going to leave it here. Yeah, so Chrissy has just come on TikTok, started her own channel. Divine Energy Art. You can find her on. Amazing channel. So powerful and beautiful lady. So follow Chrissy for me if you can, please. Yeah. I'm making my reading. Place. Oh, let's just put that there. Yeah, you get detoured on this path, just like I'm getting detoured now. So I shall leave it there, but I just wanted to speak a little bit about, you know, why we get detoured and all of that. Yeah, the downloads are coming through. Yeah, you know, Spirit has a plan for us all, and our path's our path. So yeah, whether you're at the other side of the world and you long to get back home, there's reasons for everything, you know. It's divinely orchestrated. So yeah, we wanted to get home, and yeah, my family was like, "Are you kidding me, ma'am? Have a word with your angels." And I told them to stop detouring us, you know, because they're with me too also, you know. So yeah, it affects them, but yeah, they also understand my path a little bit more now. Not everyone's going to understand, you know, completely. Nobody will. It's your path. But yeah, I do. And that's what I just say to my family and friends now. It's not their path, it's mine. And it's for me to understand, it's not for you. I'm a trailblazer. I'm not a follower. I'm here to change where people think and, you know, what's been done before. I'm here to change that and a lot more besides, you know. Heavy mission on my hands, but I choose to, you know, carry on this path. You've got free will, you know, but I choose this path now. Choose it wholeheartedly. Yeah, the way of the heart. Choose the heart. I will always follow my heart no matter what. And that's where the heart symbol comes in, you know. Being true is also, you know, truth. Don't ever be scared to speak your truth. Everyone's going to get you, that's fine. But the ones that do get you, then you're helping and you're guarding them, and it's worth it, you know. Yeah, I choose the path of the heart. And I shall leave it there. I'm going to come on again, because I can feel the angels want to speak. Reading coming through. I shall speak to you all soon. Unless I get detoured and my phone don't work. But yeah, can't see that happening. So my intuition tells me it's not going to. My third eye. So I shall speak to you all soon. Bye.